Hello everyone, MarcusWolfe here, welcoming you all back to another episode of Disco Elysium. Last we left off, we had a little dream sequence, we started a new day, and we realized this lady is the type of person that I hate with a passion. A two-faced person. Now, I will say this, a couple people that know me in real life, and have watch my stuff, which I'm quite surprised that they watch my stuff. But yeah, they're like wondering, why do I not like her so much? Why do I not like this lady so much because of how she is? It's like, isn't that what lawyers do? Yes and no. Yeah, well, not even. That's not what lawyers are supposed to do. Lawyers are just, lawyers do a soulless job, but they don't necessarily like say hi, and then after to get the information from their enemy, that's like, okay, I hate you, screw you, go away. They don't do that. And two, and like, I just don't like people like this because, personally speaking, I grew up with no friends. I really did. In the 90s, and then all the kids were like just being, well, even now probably still. They'll play with you one moment, and then the next 6 months it's like, oh, we don't know you, we don't want to play with you. And it's just, that's what they did constantly to me. So, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth when I see people of such obvious two-faced nature. Like, they'll be angry for one moment, and then they'll be angry at you for one moment, and then glad to be with you in the next moment, and then go back to basically manipulative nature, manipulative behavior, basically, and I don't like that, because that's what I grew up with the kids, with other kids, basically doing their kid manipulations, like, okay, we'll play with you, and then literally 30 minutes later, you weren't playing with us, what are you talking about? So, that's why I don't like her. The moment I realized she was manipulative, I did not like her. I just hated her with a passion. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. You now learned something new about me and my childhood. Yay! Let's continue on and talk to these wonderful dock workers who are probably not going to be giving us a lot of information. This is gonna suck. But we can take 50 cents. That's great. Photos of men. Photos of men in overalls toting guns and Union placards. Oh no. It's a bowl. Oh, it's the tobacco thingy. Okay, well that makes some sense. Disgusting, but makes some sense. Men in uniform of the Union placard and guns. God dang it, I'm sorry. Why does it sound like... Oh god, if you're in America, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but why does it sound like a particular party that I will not mention? Because I want to keep this game as non-political as possible, even though this game has a lot of political undertones to it. Wah! Hello, sir.
This is where you say your bed.
A broad-shouldered man points at you with a beer can.
Detective.
The lieutenant acknowledges you with a sharp note. He's leaving it to you.
Hey, dipshit. You hard of hearing or something? The boss man's talking to you.
Do not let their squeals disturb your serenity. These are but simple peasants, sire.
Oh, God.
What, is he fucking kidding? This guy high or something?
The little guy looks at his mates in disbelief.
Hey, asshole, up here. We're talking to you.
We're looking for Titus Hardy.
The lieutenant turns to the broad-shouldered man at the end of the table. And we also need to talk about the man hanged out back.
Oh, this is about him. A real looker, that one.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get ripe and pretty for you, huh?
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff. Letting out that pretty boy smell.
Time to go to work in the shit factory!
I'm sorry, I have to say, that the person that's voicing Glenn, he sounds like he's in a box. Like, the voice actor sounds like he's in a box. There's that echoey feel. It's kind of interesting. It's like everyone else is like not that echoey box feel, and here's Glenn's voice actor like, here I am talking in a box. It's kind of strange. I wouldn't say off-putting, but it kind of jars me out from the moment, if you will.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them. I mean, I wouldn't go in there for $1 million.
He slaps his forehead.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not going to get better than this.
Girl, are you helping me or are you against me? Girl, you... Shut up, okay? I really don't like you. I don't like your manipulative self. And it's not because you're a lawyer. Good lawyers don't be that manipulative. Jesus. Oh my god. Alright then. The hangman in the backyard. Did any of you guys do it?
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty boy.
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
I have a feeling that you're involved in all this somehow. I just don't yet have the proof.
Well, maybe you should just fuck off then.
Don't worry. We are resourceful. We'll find a good topic for us to discuss.
No. I's here. You got business with my boys. You got business with me.
He understood what you were doing, taking inventory of them.
Yeah! You fuck with the Hardy boys, you fuck with Titus Hardy!
Shouts the scrawny, rat-faced man, 2 teeth missing in the front.
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Says the 40-something man in the corner, with a plectrum hanging from his neck.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck.
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
You notice gang tattoos. The man must either be Mesk or Saramirizi. Wow. Saramizir. Oh. Saramirizian. Jesus.
Yeah, you're not even being fucked, Dennis.
Easy, fellas. We got company. Let's see what brings the cop around.
Too late. You already scanned the room. You got a pretty good picture.
I have an idea what the picture might be, but just in case you have another interpretation.
Of the actors here, you could take another look at the tracks in the mud on the crime scene. Compare it to these guys.
Possible. Possible. Alright. I'll scoot along for now then, Mr. Titus Hardy. Okay. I don't know how people in real life deal with idiots like these. I really don't. I would honestly never be able to do it. And kudos to law enforcement and whoever that has to deal with jerks like Titus Hardy on a daily basis. Like, honestly, kudos to them. I can't imagine how difficult it is to just maintain that professionalism while also trying your hardest to not go off, off the walls.
Left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
We counted the Hardy boys. I think there were like, including Titus Hardy, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think there were about 6 people. I need a 5.
8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right. The Hardy boys in the mess hall of Whirling in Rags.
But were they 8 people? I'm actually trying to get inventory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought there were 6. Well, there are 8 pairs, but we at least have 8. Let's go over them one by one.
1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick. Titus Hardy. The one with the bald cap. on his head.
Interesting.
Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 43. The inked banger, perhaps. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print.
What else?
5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde, Glenn. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot. But number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky.
Huh. Should have gotten to this earlier.
Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark and the tracks burn in it with strange beauty. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something?
And the last one?
8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardy Boy.
See, I knew I wasn't miscounting. There are 6 in that booth. One of them I will assume is our wonderful little boy here, Kuno, because he's been throwing rocks. That's possible. But there's there's a 7th work boot. Not counting potentially Kuno on this scene. There's a 7th.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here.
8, actually.
That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. Where's the 8th man?
Light step. Number 41 shoe.
I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy Boy. The one with his front teeth missing.
Probably.
I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not.
How about the heavy one? The 200 kilogram imprint.
200? This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was a fat Hardy Boy, the one sitting in the middle.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
You're probably right. Fat guy from the booth, carrying this victim. That could easily be about 200 kilos.
Possibly, yes.
The lieutenant marked something down in his notebook.
But why?
Why did they have to carry him?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows.
It's possible the victim wasn't conscious.
Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between 2 men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. What else can you see?
An aberration. One sole is smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the odd sole. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy Boy. Wonder who he is.
You have any ideas?
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
So, one of the people we're looking for, possibly a drummer.
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
You know, that's actually quite possible. That's actually quite possible. Huh. If only I'd come up with that idea. Very interesting.
He doesn't seem to hear you. Looking south, toward the traffic jam instead. The machines are silent. The engines are all turned off.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
Oh yes, definitely prudent. We don't have too much time before the traffic jam ends. I'm sorry, I'm still just waking up, Kim. The lieutenant writes the information down in his notebook before reverting to the tracks in the mud. Just how old do you think these tracks are?
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How do you know?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
And what do you think happened here, based on everything we're seeing?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
So far, so good. Only one thing missing.
He looks at the tracks, face lighting up from the realization.
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy Boys.
I know. 8 tracks, and only 7 Hardy Boys.
Which one is missing, do you think? I'm going to say it was our old soul.
I think so too. So, Odd Soul was here at the night of the lynching, but now he isn't in the mess hall.
Yes, I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our eyes open. I'm sure our investigation will eventually lead us to the old soul.
True. And what better place than in the traffic jam? Can I get this unfortunate soul down? Like, really unfortunate soul?
There he still is.
Oh, that's
looking
way too much.
right
That's 4.
through
I
you
need a 10.
with
Yeah,
his-
that's not happening. Kuno, do you have any idea about any of
Does
this?
Kuno care?
Yeah, you clearly
Kuno
don't.
doesn't.
Yeah, I know. Bye, buddy! So, I'm gonna go to the traffic jam because there are a couple of things that I would like to take care of that are traffic jam oriented. And we have this great loud music blaring in my ear that I do not appreciate. Hello, sir! I don't like you, but I still need to talk to you for some unfortunate reason. Hello.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
Not exactly. I mean, after resting over on the night, I'm a bit calmer now. That said, you're a lawman, right? Just wondering, what's your stance on drugs?
Drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body.
He takes a long drag on his cigarette. To be fair, you smell of booze and cigarettes. What's different about narcotics?
You know where that shit comes from? Sarah Miriza, Safre, Ilmara. They take the money from our local junkies here and then use it to outcompete us in the manufacturing sector. They know they can't beat us in a fair fight, so they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage, racial economic sabotage.
Well, to be fair, they also make alcohol, alcohol in is that too Ilmara? Oh god, I can't pronounce these names. In Ilmara too. At least I was told they do.
I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze.
Alright. So I take it then you're not smuggling drugs out of Martinez.
Not in, not out. I'll never betray the purity of my tribe.
So you're telling us that you don't know anything about drug smuggling through Terminal B?
I don't know shit. And if I did, I wouldn't tell you.
He puffs on his cigarette. Then what exactly are you still hanging around here for? A lot of your camionneurs have left already.
What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the bosses will be on my ass like ass cancer.
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Well, I did see one lorry with the trailer doors wide open on my way here. Any idea what happened there?
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved his country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags when some kip boys smashed his lock and took damn near everything. Lost his fucking job over it. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
Bad for him, I guess.
It's a fucking travesty is what it is.
So, if not you, then who do you think is running drugs all through here Terminal B?
Isn't it obvious? Fucking Sealang, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well.
And who is, this Sealang?
He's a Samaran guy who likes to pretend he's some kind of businessman. Really, he's just selling his employer stuff. Stuff he stole after he broke the seals on his Humanox lorry.
And where do I find him?
Just follow the smell. It smells like apricot and oil when you're nearby.
The lorryman lets out a raspy croak at his own sense of humor.
Yes. Where is he?
Looks like I offended your partner there. Too bad. Sealang's usually a little bit south of here, near the canal. You can't miss him. Just watch yourselves. His tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right. 100%.
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what Sealang himself has to say.
Exactly. Sounds like our next course of action then.
Guess so.
He grins, content with himself. God dang it, talking to this guy is like a walking headache. A freaking racist, and the way he keeps talking, it's not that it rubs me the wrong way, because at the very least, I get racist. There's gonna be people that are racist, you know? You can change them. For better or for worse, I can understand where they're coming from, the racists. That does not mean that I agree with them. Hell, I do not. I disagree with them wholeheartedly. I really do. The unfortunate thing is, like I said, I do understand where they're coming from. I mean... nothing. Okay, yeah, bye. Like, years and years and years of a certain mindset. You're not going to erase that mindset over a couple of centuries. I mean, hell, in the real world, we had slavery for years upon years upon years upon... You know what I'm getting at there. And the idea of slavery being abolished, at least in the Americas and Europe, England, Europe, I should say, that idea is only, what, 300 years old? 300 years old compared to human history, like ancient Egypt, and like 3,000 years ago. So the idea of no slavery is still a young idea, 300 years old. It's still a young idea compared to the rest of the world's history. You're not gonna just erase all that embedded history in just 300 years. It's gonna take a lot longer, or it may never even happen, simply because there's always gonna be people who are... And I know I said slavery, but that kind of real-world topic. There's always gonna be someone or some group that's gonna hold on to that ideology and find a way to make it survive. That's all I'll say.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind?
Well, you seem like a man who knows a little bit about drugs.
Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Well, look. I'm gonna be straight with you. I'm trying to figure out who here is smuggling drugs out of Terminal B.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive it to Jamrock.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration.
So why are you still hanging around?
Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
So who do you think could be responsible for the drug trade?
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here. You really need to find another man to probe with those questions.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
That's what I'll say. 6, 7. I need a 6. So let's hit him with my best verse. I am not a poet.
Wait.
Oh, I almost did that.
Stored away in some dusty corner. It starts like...
I almost perfected that. I wonder what the perfection would have been. A mirror's temperature is always 0. It is ice in the veins. Its camera, an X-ray.
Whoa. What else?
It is a chalice held out to you in silent communion.
Silent communion. That's good.
He's transfixed by the words. Where graspingly you partake of a shifting identity never your own.
Dang. That's some great shit. You came up with that yourself.
I'm honestly just a vessel for the muse.
Right. But really, no bullshit. That's great stuff. I sort of want to know if it's yours.
I think the words are mine, yes?
Fucking hey. Seems I got you all wrong. Cops aren't much known for their artistic sensibilities these days. It's good to meet a fellow poet. Someone with an appreciation for real text. The others here, so you don't really get it.
Well, it makes it all the more easier to bear. Especially if the words are pretty.
I get you. When they really click, it makes the world seem manageable. Good to be on the same page.
He gives you a thumbs up.
You found some common ground with this man. Even impressed him. The next time you look in the mirror, though, remember those words.
Well, that's all for now. Thanks for the entertainment. Bye. Next person we can talk to is all the way down here. Oh my god, I went the total wrong way because I am a dunce. Sir, we were told that... Well, okay, I won't say anything because the gentleman that talked about you was not a nice person. Hello.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assemblage of goods. When he realizes you're looking at him, his face breaks into a wide, welcoming grin. The name Sileng is embroidered over his breast pocket.
Happy shopping, officer. Everything's cool here.
He gives you a thumbs up. And what exactly is so cool?
Everything's cool. The goods are cool. The customers are cool. The place is cool. And one more thing, officer. You're very cool.
He makes both...
Bang, 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 bang.
He makes both hands into finger pistols and fires a few finger bullets into the air.
You feel a twitch in your index fingers. There's a finger shootout brewing.
Whip him out.
Don't shoot, officer. Have we got an arrest here or just a shakedown?
Just a shakedown.
Good one, officer. You're a funny guy. Now, what can I do for you?
He nods towards his shabby wares. Of course, I'm just kidding. I'm really here to shake you down for some answers to official police questions.
Then fire away, officer.
He settles back into the pile of boxes he's sitting on. getting comfortable. Persuade him to give me some money, oh my god. So, where are you from, Sileng?
Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
Would it be fair to say that you're from the Apricot Suzerainty?
Apricot Suzerainty calls to mind an era when the Seaguy archipelago was colonized by Revachol. It's a bit of a slur, in other words.
I'm sorry. Please, I did not mean to say that. I meant to say that you're from... Seaguy.
Very cool. I admire your awareness of our intertwined histories. It's super nice of you to apologize for colonialism. But the Apricot Suzerainty is a shithole. That's why I left.
You're welcome. I do try to be supportive of other peoples and their cultures.
That's so cool, officer. Speaking of, why not support an independent local entrepreneur by buying some pens and glasses?
Maybe soon. But I do want to ask, what is your stance on drugs?
Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin lives. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs.
Of course, I am definitely super into drugs.
That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person.
He smiles.
Sir, it appears to be true. No drugs in sight. Not in the box of sunglasses or under the speakers.
Well, that said, I do have a job to do. We're looking for a lorry driver who's transporting drugs out of the harbor. He or she is in this traffic jam currently.
That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that.
A blatant lie, sire. Yet he tells it with such conviction. We'd believe him if we didn't know better.
I'm sorry, but you are a lorryman. Another driver has already identified you and your lorry.
Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does. He's a hater.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole.
He stops to think.
Realizing he can't get out of it. Smart man.
Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream.
He spreads his arms. So, because this was your dream, you forgot to tell me about your real occupation.
Exactly. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity.
Alright, look, dude, please, stop squirming around the issue. What do you know about the drug operation here at this harbor?
Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy. I don't get involved with that crowd.
And what crowd is that?
Crowd? You know, the drug crowd?
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was that crowd.
I don't think it was some drug crowd that you were talking about. You know who they are. Tell me now.
Shush, please. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please, don't get me into this mess. I spent 15 years working my way up.
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
I don't know. Shoot. I'm actually thinking, how do I progress with this? There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. That there's bad people doing bad things. That's all he knows. No, we're gonna keep pushing. Alright, if you don't want us to get into this mess, then you have to give us a reason to move on!
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady.
Interesting. Could this driver be connected to the Hardy Boys?
Who are these other drivers who talk?
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know. Are we cool now? I really want us to be cool now.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
He points north.
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos.
Is the lady driver and the old woman Is the lady driver that old woman back there? Dazed out? Strange?
I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't gone near her. I don't get involved. I told you.
He's not ruling her out.
You think she could be associated with the Hardy Boys?
I don't know. I'm not local. I don't know anything about that.
Alright. Well, we're cool now.
All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with funky sunglasses, detective. Both of you. You deserve it.
Yeah, he definitely seemed very nervous about all this talk and stuff. I don't think he's lying. And oddly enough, I don't think the racist lorry driver is also lying. I don't think he is, because he's very... Knowing his temperament, he said that he does not do any partake in any impurities upon his soul and person. Impurities being foreign-made goods. Foreign-made goods from places that he deems less than human. Quite, I'll be perfectly honest. So, I don't think that he would be selling drugs based on his temperament. This man, he seems very nervous, and he seems quite adamant about not dealing with other people around here. I kind of believe that. The only person I haven't talked to in great length is the lady. And it sounds like from him, the lady is a bit interesting. So we're gonna see how that goes. But first, can I persuade you to give me some money? You did rat out the lady driver after all. I need a 6.
Start with a little compliment, then work your way up from there. This is about business, remember.
I can't believe it. Like, I did 3 rolls this episode and I passed all of them. What is this episode? I was half expecting to be missing them all because that's what happens. Wow. Hi, Siling. You seem like a really successful entrepreneur. Would you like to support a member of the local police force?
Oh, okay. But why, officer?
After all this mess, the broken seals, lying to you, come on.
Just think of it as an investment.
An investment? What kind of investment?
Or you could not make this about corruption and go with something even wilder.
I don't know how to do it. Well, definitely not this. I kind of don't want to make this about corruption. I kind of don't. Oh, dear. Well, it's an investment in your customer base. You gotta prime up the pump, man.
Fair point. You can't have a successful business without a loyal customer base. How much is your loyalty worth?
5 real.
What? Only a fiver? You can't even buy a pack of Royal Extras with that. Let's make this one stick, my man.
Alright. 10.
10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man.
He takes a 10 note from the leather pouch. Oh, thanks. I can't believe that he actually wanted to give me more money. I can't believe that. That is honestly super surprising, and sure, whatever. Thanks for giving more money. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call an end here because I need to rest my voice. It's starting to go a little bit downhill. And on the next one, we will talk to the wonderful Lady Lorry Driver. Let's see what she has to say about the drug smuggling and trafficking. Later, everyone.